Put your face.
Hello and welcome to Let's Face It with Joe, where real people share genuine social and relationship concerns. Last week we spoke about Tia's "He's been bullied at work." This is the concluding part. It is also commonly identified that the majority of those being bullied were also diagnosed with clinical depression, and that's really where I'm going. A high percentage of men are reduced to tears due to the bullying and helplessness they experience at work. The necessity to put food on the table as a man and maintain respect in the home and also in the society has left many of them with no option than to just cope in a job irrespective. Sadly, many of them feel so helpless they don't realize that the job has such a great impact on their physical and emotional being. The stress might actually be killing them slowly without them even knowing. Let's Face It went out on the streets to find out just what the men had to say. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.
Let's face it with Joe. Put your face together.
Being bullied at work. Yes, I remember at the time I was bullied by my boss. What really happened was we had to make purchases for end of the year, and I was in charge, running the admin and the accounts. So I put all the documents and forwarded to her to, of course, to edit and approve. She approved without editing, only to buy the items, and she got angry. How would I bought this? Why did you do this? This bad, this wrong, you are selfish. She said all sort of things, only to discover that it was proposed by my senior colleague in the office. No apology followed. I felt very embarrassed. Funny enough, it was a carol service. I came to church downtrodden, broken-hearted. People get bullied. But we can always, if we put ourselves in another person's shoe, all the time, we won't react the way we react to certain issues. Actually, what happened was, I was demoralized. I was heartbroken. The fact that I was not doing that in my personal favor, you need to understand that. However, it didn't make me less of where I am. What I did was, seriously, if this man knew what really transpired, she wouldn't have done this. So I got over it that day. The next day, I was back to myself. Yeah, my confidence was restored. Yeah, thank you.
Let's face it with Joe. Put your face.
Welcome back. In developed countries, labor laws are actively in place, and where there is any deviation from the law, the bullied victims are encouraged to take employers to a tribunal or take legal action where a fair trial will be held, and if found guilty, huge compensation is paid to the victim depending on the severity of the case, and may still maintain their job. Unfortunately, one cannot boast of such fairness in Nigeria, for example. Hence, many men just grin and bear it, and then go home and cry. Working with an international company may not be any better if they are used to institutionalized bullying. Everyone is watching their own back, and some are stabbing the other people's back too, to stay in that much needed job. Often employers don't care. They know there are hundreds of people out there waiting to take your job when you're gone, so it's always a lose-lose situation for the employee. Women are not under as much pressure as men in this area, so women, please show a little extra love when things get tough for the man in your life. And remember, it's just one life, no duplicate. So guys, if you can afford it, try to set up additional business apart from that full-time job you have. Something to fall back on if things go wrong. But don't you ever forget that health is wealth. To continue, do join me on the social media handles showing on the screen. And remember, don't hide it. Let's face it together with Joe. Take care.